Previously we equipped this FXR with the Legend 4 cartridges, 15 inches rear shocks and chain sprocket kit. The next important modification is the installation of the wide and flat handlebar, instead of the original one, which is good for cruising, but not for stunt riding. And since the new 4 cartridges with fast and slow compression can load the front wheel much better, I'll install a double rotor front brake. This is an old bike. Some bolts need to be heated before unscrewing. Sometimes it's not enough. No need to disassemble the brake system, as it will be replaced completely. The clutch and speedometer are removed as well. The switch sets wires are in the handlebar, and the connectors are under the tank, which should be removed. Not easy to disassemble such old connectors, not damaging them, so I cut it off. Now the switches can be removed. It is easier to pull out the wires on the removed handlebar. Throttle cables are torn, it should be fixed. To do this, I will completely replace the inner wires. In our set there are cables and nipples that match needed diameter. To securely fix the nipple, the cable must be flattened and dipped into a soldering pot. Excess solder is grinded. Next, the cable is inserted into the clean sleeve. In the same way, the ball is made for the original removable barrel nipple at the other end. The new risers are installed without a washer, because the seat place is flat, unlike the original handlebar. It must be fixed via rigid bushings in the triple clamp, which are not shipped to us yet. With the original rubber bushings, the handlebar's play is too much. For stunt riding, we picked up a steel LSL handlebar with flat geometry and special dents for the wires of the Harley switches. The radial master cylinder is fixed above the wire. The speedometer is not needed anymore. The left grip is fixed on the handlebar with the sandpaper. On the new handlebar, I use waterproof skateboard sandpaper. Grips are easy to put on with an air blowgun. I replaced the original clutch lever with the easy pull clutch lever. To do this, release the cable tension. The clutch lever clamp is installed over the wire harness, just like the brake master cylinder. It is advisable to check the free play of the clutch lever in different positions of the handlebar, as it changes when turning the handlebar. I connected the switch connectors through the wire couplings. The wires are fixed on the frame with the original clamps and new ties. The oil pressure and neutral indicators can be located on the front panel. All other indicators are not needed for a stunt bike. The new brake rotors are fixed with the new bolts to 30 Nm. Brake rotors must have a recess for the bolt head, otherwise the wheel will not fit between the fork legs. Also, pay attention to the direction of rotation. The axle nut is tightened to 75 Nm. The pinch bolt is tightened to 35 Nm. To center the wheel with the two brake discs, the longer spacer had to be shortened by 2 mm, and instead of the short one, a new one had to be made 2 mm longer. The wheel is centered, so the front brake system can be assembled. I'm going to install Radial for piston calipers with adapters that come with a set of washers for precise positioning of the calipers. It's an impractical solution, but universal, and allows you to adjust the position of the caliper exactly to the disc. The final tightening is better to do after installing the brake system. I will assemble the brake lines from Hell components. Hell is one of the leading manufacturers of steel braided brake lines. We have a unique number 129, which is on all our sleeves, and for which the Hell warranty is provided. The hoses are very flexible, resistant to aggressive environments and extremely low temperatures. Stainless steel fittings can be bent at any angle and rotated after crimping. I will use a T under the lower triple clamp. For accurate length determination, the initial assembly is better to do on a motorcycle. The sleeves must be installed as they fix the direction of the hose at the fitting. After determining the length, the fittings are crimped in a radial press to the required diameter. The result is such a compact scheme. I fixed the brake fluid reservoir on the custom bracket. The most convenient way to fill and bleed the system is a vacuum pump. After bleeding the brake system, it is advisable to leave it under pressure, so that the foam in the fluid collects to a bubble at the bleeder bolts. After a while, you need to make the final air drop from each cylinder. Now you can finally tighten the calipers by pressing the front brake to center them along with the discs. The new handlebar makes it easier to drive the bike, load the fork in the burnout and be much more comfortable riding in the wheelie. External cable routing is not so elegant, but practical and makes it easy to replace the handlebar. The dual disc brake system with Legend 4 cartridges allows you to stop the motorcycle with less efforts. Subscribe if information was interesting.